beat boys
and free my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away, drift away. Hello, welcome to the new Power Paradigm.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
And our first edition of Pillow Talk with Diane and
Mariana.
Yes. So as you can see, we have a new background
For these little videos that we're gonna do. It's just gonna be us on my bed talking.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm. I bet you're wondering why
the sudden location change, you know?
There's less of us.
There's a part of us that's missing.
There's a part of us that's
Raphael
missing.
is on vacation with his boyfriend in Thailand. Mm-hmm. They're having a great time. They didn't leave us with an apartment key. Not that we're like bitter or anything.
Yeah,
but,
it's not that we had to like figure out a different place to film or anything.
You know, and lighting and shit like that. I mean, it's not like we've already recorded 7 episodes in his house, but whatever. You know, we're fine.
Yeah, and I love this background. We're in Maddie's room. She has a great room, but you can't see all of her art wall, but it's great. And we have
Wonder Woman as the woman of color. What?
Yes. So
controversial.
Do you want to tell them what we're doing today?
Yes, today we are doing a one of 2 recommendation videos. We're going to be doing comics and books today. And our next episode will be on movies and are we doing TV shows?
Yeah, TV shows.
Okay, movies and TV shows that showcase queer people of color. And we're really excited because both me and Diane are huge consumers of the written word, of comics. Mm-hmm. And I think as any person, we try to keep like an eye out for, you know, stories that showcase queer characters, stories that are done by queer and people of color creators. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this is going to be our short recommendation video. We're just going to we're going to name our tops and then little synopsis, and then you can pick and choose what you want to read.
Yes.
All right, do you want to start us off, Diane?
All right. So my favorite genre is horror. I love everything horror, but I think it could be a little tricky to find queer content with people of color in it that's horror. I mean, I think there's a lot out there, but not as nearly enough as we want. But I think one of the best place to start with is horror, like short story collections or just anthologies. So my first rec is Nightmare Magazine's Queer Destroy Horror series. This is the trade paperback version. Nightmare Magazine is an online horror/dark fantasy magazine, but you can purchase their special issues. Like this one is a special issue in trade paperback. You can also get all the other issues online. So this one, the Queer Destroy Horror special issue, is basically just features fiction, poetry, some nonfiction pieces by queer creators. Some of them are people of color. And it's just like a really great, diverse collection of horror stories that I love so much. So I will put a link down below where you can buy it if you're interested in horror and you're queer and you're a person of color also. Yay!
Yes, excellent. My first recommendation today will be Welcome Back by Christopher Sebela and Jonathan Brandon Sawyer. It is this really great comic series. It's one of my favorites right now. I think it's by Boom, if I'm not mistaken. It's by Boom Comics. It's a story that follows 2 girls who are from warring factions. These 2 factions have been at war with each other since like the dawn of time. No one really knows why they're at war. They just know that they have to like abide by these like really strict rules, and in each faction there is one person who is destined to kill someone from the other
versus
from the opposite faction. So like your goal in life is to find that one person that you're meant to kill, and once that mission is completed, you are reborn into different bodies in different parts of the world, and you have to find that same person who is they themselves in like a different body, different person. It's the same spirit, right? But it's just like the constant reincarnation. So no one knows why they're doing it, but they just have to find that one person and kill them and get reborn and find them and kill them. And it's like it's really intense. And the story focuses on two girls who are destined to kill each other, but they've fallen in love, and now they're trying to like break free and just like break this like really obviously like stupid cycle. So it's really good. It's one of my favorite comics right now.
She's told me many a times,
but some people don't listen. So
I have things to read. I have it to do, but this is on my. I have to read this. I've been meaning to read this. Okay, next is, oh my gosh, do you know what it is?
Do you know what it is, Maddie?
Oh my gosh. It's Aristotle and Dante Discovered the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Alire Saenz. Did I say that right?
You did, you said it right.
This is a beautiful book. I read this recently. So it's a YA novel. And it, oh man.
I read the novel and I recently listened to the audio version, like the audio book.
Lin-Manuel Miranda
does the audio and it's fucking incredible. It's so good.
Maddie recommended this book to me and our friend Carmen also, and so both of you just like, I'm so glad that they push my gay agenda, because I want my gay agenda to be full of amazing queer content like this. So this book takes place in the 80s in El Paso, Texas, and it's about these two Mexican-American boys, and like Maddie mentioned to me before when she was recommending the book, it's really like, there's not much that happens, but so much happens, because it's just...
Because it doesn't have like doesn't have...
Hold it?
Yeah, I want to hold it, thank you. It doesn't have like one thing that pushes the story forward. It's just really a story of these two boys like growing up and like becoming young men. And it's one of the most, after I was done reading it, I felt this like the purest sense of like joy and like sadness that I've ever felt, because it was just so beautiful. I love this book so much. I love the characters. And this is definitely one of my favorite books that features queer characters.
Yes, I
especially
cried.
Queer Mexican men, and it's just like. Whew.
I cried so much that I had to take off my glasses because it was my tears like in like the fog. It was just too much. Yeah,
I had to hold myself.
I had to hold myself. Yes.
I think my next recommendation is going to be The Summer Prince by Alaya Dawn Johnson. So this is a queer Afro-Latino-centric dystopian YA novel. That's a lot of words, but it's fantastic. It's everything that I've ever wanted in a book. So it takes place in the future. The world has gone to shit, and there's this really advanced and thriving society in Brazil that has sprung from the ruin and is doing really well. The society is the matriarchy, and it follows this main character called June, and she is an artist, and she's always striving to like push her art further and further and further. So the queen is their system of government is like really complex. They have a queen who is elected, and every couple of years a summer king is chosen from amongst the people. But at the end of I think a year, the summer king has to die, and with his death he has to choose the next summer queen. So June falls in love with the summer king, but he's not into it because he's gay and he loves he's not gay, I'm sorry. I think he's bi, but he falls in love with June's best friend. So together they're trying to push their art further and further along, and it's with the backdrop of like growing civil unrest, because even though the society is futuristic and it's a matriarchy, there's a lot of corruption, and there's still a lot of like marginalization of like lower socioeconomic status people, and it's so great. It's one of my favorites, and I really wish there was a sequel. There's not. That's, if you're interested in like Afro like centric storytelling, like Alaya Dawn Johnson is fantastic.
Yay!
What about you? Next
Maddie
one.
is the queen of description because I can't even give that great of a synopsis. So my next recommendation is a comic. It is called InSEXts. InSEXts, yeah. INSEXTS by Marguerite Bennett.
Yeah.
And I believe Ariella.
It's on my list as well. I was going to talk about it.
Ariella, what is
it is
Ariella Cristantina. And it's by Aftershock Comics. So it's this Victorian horror fantasy about two women. One of them is Indian, I believe, and then they're just kind of. I don't want to give too much away, but it's there are these women who can turn into these like supernatural moth creatures. There's some spooky stuff, some secret society stuff.
They're in love.
And they're just, it's so good. Yeah. It's just, so good. The art is beautiful also, definitely. And there's one volume out so far. But it's an ongoing series, so I think you should definitely check it out. And it's very like erotic.
It's really good. Like, it's definitely not something that you want to read like on a crowded like bus. Because there's a lot of like graphic sex scenes. Not that it's graphic, but like there's explicit sex scenes. Mm-hmm. But it's so great. It's so good.
So good.
Yeah. I think my next recommendation is Proxy by Alex London. So it's another dystopian YA novel. The main character is a queer man of color, and he is the chosen one that it's through him that they will be able to take down like this corrupt and oppressive system of government. He doesn't believe it. He thinks it's shit. He's just trying to like escape poverty and like, you know, make sure that he can survive. And it's really good. It's a 2-part series. Again, I really think that the series could really use a 3rd installment, but the author has like said that he's not going to do a 3rd one. I'm really bummed. It's really good. Check it out. It's one of my favorites as well.
Yay. Should I have like 3 more.
Have we done 3 and 3?
I think we have.
Okay.
I think we have. We'll do like some more like rapid fire. Okay. So I think the rest of that I have to recommend are comics. Mm-hmm. So I have Lumberjanes, obviously really popular if you haven't known Lumberjanes. Lumberjanes by Noelle Stevenson, Shannon Waters, Grace Ellis, and Brooke A. Allen. It's published by Boom Studios, and it's super queer. It features a trans girl, and there are 6 volumes out so far, and the 7th one is coming out this year. Mm-hmm. But it's basically it's a group of girls who go to a camp. Are they Girl Scouts?
I don't know. I've never read it.
You've never read Lumberjanes?
Confessions. No, I've never read Lumberjanes.
I thought you had. It's okay. Well, now you have to read it. Yeah, so it's just girls going to camp.
I'll read Lumberjanes when you read Welcome Back.
Okay, all right. We have a deal. You want to shake on it? All right. Queer shake. But yeah, it's really amazing, and there's some spooky stuff that happens too.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? Go.
Yeah. Quantum Teens are Go, Mags Visaggio and Eric Donovan. These 2 super smart kids. I think one of the main characters is a trans woman. She's a trans girl, and she's in love with like this like cute little boy. And I think they want to build a time machine, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, want to build a time machine.
And that's it. That's all the review I'm giving.
That's it.
It's good. It's really good.
Read it. Next for me is Bitch Planet by Kelly Sue DeConnick, art by Valentina Delandro, published by Image Comics. It is so good. It's a it's a dystopian feminist comic. If you're a fan of the like 70s, 60s, 70s exploitation films, it's really inspired by that. But it's basically a bunch of women who are non-conforming who are sent to this prison.
On a different planet.
On a different planet. And it's so amazing. Mm-hmm. And, if you're... like, it's super queer. Almost all of the women are women of color. Mm-hmm. So it's great. Yeah.
My next recommendation is Huntress by Malinda Lo. It's a queer fantasy. 2 girls fall in love. They are sent to the fairy kingdom to negotiate a truce or an agreement with them because the fairies have blocked the sun from shining. It's really good. It's queer. I think almost everything that Malinda Lo writes has queer women. Some of them are queer women of color. So definitely check her out if that's something that you're interested in.
Mm-hmm. Next is The Wicked and Divine by Kieron Gillen, art by J.B. McKelvey. Image Comics, super queer. I mean,
Yeah.
Lots
queer. Of people of color.
Lots
as
of
well.
people of color.
So
but I also, I really want to mention one thing. Do you have another thing?
I have one more thing.
Okay, go.
Speaking of that, of Young Avengers, this is one of my favorite comic series. It's the exact same team from The Wicked and the Divine.
Yeah.
Basically, everyone on the team, with the exception of one person, they're all queer, and it's fantastic. And this is America Chavez. She is a lesbian. She is Latina, and she has her own issue right now. Her own line right now on Marvel. The creators are Gabby Rivera, Joe Quinones, and Ming Doyle. Also fucking fantastic. That's my last rec. Diane, for
Oh,
you?
I have one more. Okay, so it's an ongoing series, and I really recently just read it. But it's called Motor Crush. I forgot the publisher, but it's Image. I think it's Image, but it's so amazing. I think there are only 5 issues out so far, but it's about this motorcycle racer named Domino, who's black and queer, but has a secret. And yeah. So, but that's all I want to say. It's really, really good, really amazing, super intense. And that's it. I think that's it for our recommendations.
Read Young Avengers. It's fantastic. Read just you know, if you're in a rut, if you're tired of reading like white queer stories written by white queer people, or just like white people, just just choose something from one of our recommendations.
Yeah.
Like, our goal for this series is that we're gonna try to create a document that we're gonna keep that we're gonna update frequently with everything that we think fits our criteria of, you know, it hits those points. So choose something from what we recommended. Do a little bit of research on your own and let us know.
What you would recommend us, because I think one of the greatest, like when I was putting together a list of what I want to recommend, I realized like, oh my god, I read so many white stories. Like please give me all the queer POC content you can find. Basically.
So that's gonna do it for us for this episode, guys.
Thank you so much for watching Pillow Talk with Mariana and Diane.
Peace.
Bye.
Love y'all. Bye.